This is another episode of TrendChat. I'm not going to get into the numbers. I've almost forgotten them already. I'm your host, Brian Bledsoe. And as always, if you want to connect with us on social media, it's all the same name, TrendChat 24/7 on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. It's all across. It's all the same name. And we are available on Spreaker. A few episodes are on SoundCloud. Not every episode. But all episodes are available on iTunes. And definitely glad to get that approval. That was to give more options for everyone to listen. So, once again, I definitely appreciate everyone listening in and have listened in. So, like I posted earlier, right now I have 300 plays on Spreaker, and I'm guessing it counts also to SoundCloud and if anything is on iTunes. And I definitely appreciate everybody who has been listening. Appreciate everyone who is watching right now. And 300 plays over 11 to 12 episodes. So hey, maybe we might get 300 plays off of this one episode and just double it right now. But I don't know, maybe it might say something edgy or something where people might get, some controversy and say, oh, he said that, and then everyone want to listen to it, and then I get to like 1,000 plays or something. But I don't know, maybe you just want to hear my voice, which is, perfectly fine, or you just want to tell your friends, which you should tell them anyway, because you just hear what, like I've always say, this podcast is basically just me giving my news that I already have while I'm just driving down the road. So, matter of fact, right now I am broadcasting from Scranton, Pennsylvania, which is the the hometown of former Vice President Joe Biden, and which have no choice but to remember that, because I remember he made sure to let you know that he was from Scranton, Pennsylvania during the campaign trail back in 2007. So I just can't forget. And so speaking of the former vice president, tonight I'm going to talk about the last minute trip I took to DC, which like I said, it was very last minute, because I didn't know I was going down there to that yesterday morning, because I basically wrapped up everything I needed for work like around 8 o'clock a.m. So I basically had the day off, and I decided, and plus I was closer to Washington than I thought. So I was like, well, since I'm so close to DC, and also with the Obamacare replacement going on, just happened the day before and kind of behind that. So I definitely wanted to go, because, I think we all, if you're engaged politically of any sort, that you are probably subscribed to different group, and they send emails saying to call your congressman about this and that. So in this sense, you had a lot of conservative sending out emails saying, hey, call your congressman, especially whether they're for or against the more conservative groups like Freedom Works, Heritage Action, definitely were against this, what it's been called a number of things, Obamacare 2.0, or Rhino Care, or Ryan Care, or Orion Care, which I actually think it's kind of funny. Orion Care is actually getting close to, St. Patrick's Day, Orion Care, but, or call it Trump Care or whatever. Anyway, like I said before in the post, and also what I said on last episode, that regardless of what you call it, it's still government controlled healthcare. Now, I would say that. And, that's one of the things I brought up when I went to meet my representatives and got a chance to, I mostly spoke with a lot of staff, but I also went around and to other congressmen and all their staffs as well. And so, but I want to read something before I get into all of this. And I just want to make this clear. If you saw my Facebook post this morning, you know where I'm about to go with this, but I'm just going to read it now in case you didn't, and and just kind of set the tone to kind of what I'm going to be talking about, at least in the first part of this podcast. So, here, all right. I'm going to read a sentence, sentence 2, and I'm just going to read it right off. We agree with the 4 dissenting judges of the Supreme Court. Quote, in our view, the entire act before us is invalid in its entirety. Now, that right there is page 36 of the Republican Party platform. That was, and no, not in 2012, not any other time, either 2014. That was a statement from the 2016 Republican Party platform. Now, what is going on right now with the Obamacare replacement plan? It definitely doesn't seem like that is adhering to what they put in their own platform. And for me, it was easy for me to think about this because I was there when it was putting together the platform. I was a delegate in Texas in Cleveland for the Republican convention. So I remember this quite fondly. Not only that, because I was there the week before the convention for the summer meetings. And so I remember all this. I remember being in the meetings for like 10 hours. So, and so when I was going up there, and actually I didn't even think about it until after I finished meeting with everyone, which I kind of regretted. I wish I had that going in, but either way, it definitely at this point it seems like that they're not holding to that. And which is, you would think will be pretty simple to just, you already have a blueprint of what you should, what ideas and what your goals are as a party in the platform. So it's kind of easy to just go by that as opposed to doing what's going on right now. Now, I know a lot of the, I guess even the congressmen or the staff themselves are saying now, or at least what they were saying yesterday, and as part of this, and saying that, well, this is part of a 3-phase plan. So, okay, if that's the case, we will see. Time will tell. If after all phases are complete, will Obamacare be totally repealed after all these phases? I guess we'll see. And if by that, after these 3 phases have went through and then you still have Obamacare in there in some shape or form, then they're not, fulfilling what they said in their platform, and also what they've campaigned on. A lot of campaign on during the campaign season last year. So I went, after I realized I'm going to make this trip down to DC, I actually just, I wanted to go by the Heritage Foundation, mainly because I just wanted the Heritage Foundation because I like it, like it there. And also I am a Heritage Action Sentinel, and I definitely like to meet up with the people there. And I also wanted to get some more information before I head over to the Hill to talk to the staff and everything. So I'm really glad I did. I got a chance to really talk to some of the people, and we kind of bounced back and forth on different, almost kind of prepping me as far as what they're probably going to say to this argument. If I bring this up, they might say that. So that kind of helped me out as far as kind of getting the understanding as far as what the staffers are going to say, and try to keep the conversation focused on free market ideas when it comes to Obamacare, and as far as repealing it and everything. I also had a couple other things myself that I wanted to bring up. I brought up border security, as far as I know John Cornyn had his statement on, I think it was on Tucker Carlson, talking about not wanting the wall. and stuff. So, I made it perfectly clear to the people in John Cornyn's office. I was like, well, he said that Texans don't want a wall. I made sure that they write down that I am not one of those Texans. I want the wall. Now, the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a wall. I'm just for stronger border security, regardless of what it is. Now, I told the staffer, I don't care what it is. I just want stronger border security. Now, if it's a wall, if it's robots, if it's the, satellite shooting lasers out of the, I don't care what it is. As long as we got stronger border security, I'm good. Now, not going to take that to, to the farthest degree. I would like it to be cost efficient and to be effective. So, and I just say a wall will be very effective. I mean, no matter, I guess if you want to put other things with it as far as, I don't know, a moat, I don't know, whatever. I'm just saying, for one thing, I was also referencing what that Mexican congressman did as far as scaling the wall and sitting on top of it and to make a point. Now, I don't know what point he was trying to make, because the point I was thinking when he scaled the wall, like, well, look at you. You had to climb a wall to get in as opposed to just walking across. So that was the point I was getting. I guess the point he was saying, like, well, look, I was able to get over. Well, I guess another point he's making is that I guess we need to make it higher. Or maybe we need to, I don't know, put something else around it then. So that was also another issue that I brought up to my representatives as well, was that, and I also brought up one more issue that is, I'm going to say this to try, hopefully by my little podcast would maybe get a little more reaction, or at least get some traction on it, is I was bringing up to everyone that I talked to about what is going on with a company called VidAngel that is being sued by Disney and the other just huge movie studios, Paramount, 20th Century Fox and whatnot. And they have sued VidAngel and basically have shut their service down. And what the service that VidAngel provides is that they filter movies to make, I guess, whether it's an R-rated movie or even just a PG movie, they filter it to make it more family friendly. So you can choose if you don't want to see nudity or hear profanity or some whatever objectionable material you don't want to hear. They have software to take that out, so you can, I guess, if you want to watch it with a clean conscience, or just want to lessen what that you hear and what you see in a movie. So they were able to do that by using what is called the Family Movie Act that was adopted. I guess it was on in 2005, and apparently Disney and the other studios found the loophole, or saw that the language was too vague to I guess to have them shut down. So they want to reach out to congressmen. They want everyone, to wherever you live, to reach out to their congressman and tell them to clarify the language in the Family Act, to, I guess, to kind of make, whether it goes either way, but it needs some clarification, because what is the language that is in there now, it seems to show that they were able to provide this service. But all these studios have basically have thousands of lawyers to find any little thing to just whether to shut someone down or whatnot. So I brought that issue up. I mean, I know that's a relatively small issue as far as, especially in the light of Obamacare and a whole bunch of other things that are going on. But I did want to bring it up then, and I guess on here, if you didn't know about it, here on TrendChat, and if I will say, if you don't know anything about it and want to learn more about it, I guess you should go to Just I would say look up Family Movie Act of 2005. I think you probably Google that and it will come up then. And as far as what's going on with VidAngel right now, actually their lawsuit is in the Ninth Circuit Court right now. Given the history of that court, it's probably going to turn out going to the Supreme Court. So those were the three issues I was bringing up, and I got a chance to meet with most, I think, with a lot of stuff, and it was a productive time, especially given the fact that I came last minute with no appointments. I would come in there myself, just saying, "Hey, could I speak to someone about this and that?" And a lot of them was already booked all day, but I was able to talk to a couple other people, and like I said, being such short notice, so I was happy to get someone as opposed to just whoever the receptionist was that was sitting there. So now I also was able to go to the Committee for Energy and Commerce while they were going on, which turned out to be all night because I left there at 8:00 thinking it was probably be over soon. And then I wake up this morning, turn to find out they were there all night, just going over the bill. And I think I sat there for about an hour or so, and they were just going back and forth. Democrats basically saying this is the worst thing in the world, and this should be not considered and whatnot. And then you have Republicans saying they just going back and forth and just kind of repeating the same point, just saying it a different way. And I just can't imagine how many times they were doing that all night. I think I saw a story where a Democrat asked them to read the whole bill out loud during the night, which I don't imagine how boring that was. But like they can't read or something. I don't know, but you can't read the bill for yourself. But then it's funny because as someone who watched C-SPAN a lot, I'm used to seeing that room. I'm used to seeing on the House floor, Senate floor, and whatnot. And when I went, I was like, "Oh, this place is bigger than I thought." Well, I guess when I said bigger, I mean taller than I thought. And because I was like, "Wow," I didn't know it was like kind of vast in a sort of way. But I guess when you watch it on C-SPAN, it's kind of like really straightforward and it's just focused on the congressman talking and whatnot. But that was cool. I guess it's cool because I watch C-SPAN and stuff. So now I had some other encounters which I thought were kind of funny, and I wanted to bring those up. But before I do, I want to a group that is right now they're putting together a website. The name of the group is the Founding Project, and I'm still talking about this time in DC. And when you're in DC, you can definitely, there's a lot of history there. You go to the various memorials and take a tour there and whatnot. But this group, they're focused on educating citizens to know more about the founding of their country and the founding documents like the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, obviously. So I really think they're a great group, and right, like I said, they are putting together a web. They should be launching soon. I know I keep saying that, but they are going to be launching soon. But right now they have a Facebook group. If you go on Facebook and search The Founding Project, and you should be able to find them there. And hopefully you will get something out of it. Or if you already know all this, you can tell a friend or reach out to the other people, and hopefully they can learn some more about the founding and be more educated. Because trust me, we all should know some more as far as when it comes to just the founding documents and whatnot. I mean, just thinking about it, legal immigrants had to take this citizenship test that most citizens that are born here couldn't even pass. I haven't even taken it. I'm pretty confident I will pass it, but I just don't know. I haven't even looked. I haven't seen it myself. I don't have to. But I just kind of wonder. I might need to look at it just to test myself and see that. But hopefully, because I'm definitely a fan of the Founder Project, and I just want to give them a shout out before I get into these these funny situations that happen while at on Capitol Hill. Now, I was on the Senate side, and I was also on the representative side. Just walking around, and like I said, I'm saying this again. This was a very last minute trip, and so I'm basically it's like how I am right now. Like so, I'm doing Facebook Live right now. So if you see me on Facebook Live, this is kind of how I was dressed, wearing a t-shirt and cargo pants because I'm just coming off of work. So I'm just dressed like that. Got a baseball cap on, and and it was it was kind of funny because in one sense because I wasn't in a suit like everyone else, but and so I guess I kind of felt a little bit out of place. I mean, I could have put on some slacks or something, but it was okay. But that didn't really go into the whole interesting encounters. One encounter, which actually wasn't an encounter. It was just kind of, I guess it was kind of funny to me because I saw Representative Maxine Waters walking down the hall, like we was going the same direction, and she was walking down, and I wanted to say something to her, but I said nope, I'm not just going to just go off and just say basically you're a socialist or whatever like that, because I wasn't going to do all that, but I like, oh man, there she is. I mean, I see her on TV spouting all this, socialist crap, basically. I still remember when she was, I guess I forgot who she was telling, but that she wanted to socialize their companies, and I remember when she said that, she just slipped up and kind of stopped. Like and then had to catch herself, and then and basically just said, "I'm just government taking over your companies," which is basically socialism, communism. So, but yeah, I saw her, and I just went on about my business. But now another thing that happened is now main mission was to talk about the Obamacare replacement plan. And I went to various offices. I went to moderate Republican offices, and I even dropped by a couple of Democrat offices, and the more conservative offices. Now, of the conservative office I went to, I would go by there and say, "Hey, keep up the good work, and fight for more conservative ideas in this bill, or whether if it doesn't get passed, full repeal and have some more free market ideas in the next one if this doesn't pass." So, by the way, if you don't know by now, the both bills passed. The Ways and Means Committee and the Commerce, both of those passed. So now it's going to the Budget Committee next week and see where it goes from there, and on and on. I mean, you know how it is as far as anybody watch Schoolhouse Rock, how a bill works. So so if you don't know, watch that. But so that's what's going on with the bill currently. And so when I went to these offices, it was quite funny because the first thing I asked, regardless of what office I went into, I would ask them, what does so-and-so, Congressman, whoever, what is their stance on the Obamacare replacement plan? I told you how I'm dressed, and, I'm me being black. If you're listening to this, yes, I am black, and don't know that, now you know. So, I'll say the first, I can't remember the first office I went to, but so when I went to a Republican office and asked the question. Now, this kind of depended on this for the whoever the representative is, whether they are a moderate Republican or just a straight up conservative Republican. But I'm not going to say names because I don't want y'all to, whoever's listening, I don't want to turn into something like, oh well, so and so is racist because of this and that, because it really. And I'll explain more about that after I finish the story. And because so I went to this one Republican office and I said, and I had the question. I said, what does Congressman whoever or woman whatever, well, what do they think of the Obamacare replacement plan? And in its Republican office, the person went out of their way to make it seem like, don't worry, you're gonna keep your Obamacare, kind of not even, just trying to make me feel better, because obviously she thought that that I was a Democrat and wanted to and was in favor of Obamacare, and so I thought that was kind of funny, and I knew that's how I was going to play. That's why I asked the question that way, but and so I just let them go through, like being apologetic about this plan and whatnot. It's not as bad as they're saying it is, something like that. It was funny to me, at least. And I just let them keep on talking about it, and then I turn the table on them and say, well, I'm against the plan. Not, I'm against the plan because I want more free market and conservative ideas. And the look on their faces just kind of changed, like, oh. Now, this is in a Republican office, so they were well, yeah. Now, if there was more of a moderate, then they'll kind of change the tone to the point to where, like, well, now that they know that they're talking to someone, especially when they see now the heritage folder that I have, which before I start talking, they don't see that first because I have it like under the desk or something like that, or like right beside me. So it's something that they don't really see. But now, after I have made my position known, and which to their surprise, when I go to like a moderate office, then they kind of switch the other way. Like, well, now I'm talking to a conservative and I represent a moderate, so now I have to say, change my tone to more of a moderate, I guess, position on this bill, because he wants more, personal responsibility. That horrible person wants more personal responsibility in their health care, as opposed to having the government take care of them, basically. So now, if I left it right there, someone would probably take this now. See what that is? See, that's those racist Republicans. They're profiling you because they assume that you were a Democrat, and that's racial profiling. Well, I'm not done, because I also did this to a Democrat office, in which it was the same way, just the exact opposite. So I would go into a Democrat office and ask, what did Congressman so-and-so want to, what is his, his certain, well, yeah, I think it was all his, but then, anyway, what is their stance on the Obamacare replacement plan? Oh man, and they're just like, they're looking at me. That's all I said. They don't know me from Adam. So for me asking then they'll just say, well, it is the worst plan of all time, and the Republicans are trying to take away your Obamacare, and it's going to be horrible. Granted, it's going to be out on the street, and kids are going to be crying. Planet's going to die. Apocalypse. It was the most awful thing of all time was about to happen. Now they're going through that whole thing. Now in this case, I didn't just say that, okay, well, I'm for more conservative ideas, and I would like Obamacare to be repealed. I actually didn't even bring it up in these Democrat offices for a couple of reasons. One, because it was such short notice. I actually wish I would have ordered it and kind of did a whole little deal out of it, but it was kind of last minute, and it was just something that just came in my mind while I was going in to these offices. So it'd been funny if I would have just thought it through a little bit more, but I didn't even say anything. I just said, oh, okay, and then I just walk out, because well, one, I'm not a constituent of these Democrat offices, my congressman is a Republican, so I wasn't going to get into this whole argument and debate in the office. And I'm not even a constituent of of whoever the Democrat congressman was. But I just want to do that little exercise on both sides. So and so like even when I went to a more conservative Republican offices, like I went to a lot of offices. I think I went to maybe I don't know 30 to 40 or 50 offices total, from the Senate and the representative side. But yeah, but like when I went to a couple of conservative Republican offices, which was a little bit different, and so like one office I went to did ask the same question, and they were apprehensive. They were kind of like, okay, I gotta make sure I set a conservative position on this, that that it should be repealed, and we actually are not agreeing with it, that we think it should be more conservative or something like that. So they will get into that, but they were like hesitant in saying it and just kind of bracing for me to just go off on them and just say like, well, because they are assuming that I am a Democrat, and but then when I tell them that I agree with you, and I think you should keep it up, I agree with that. It should be more conservative, and it should have more conservative amendments to this bill, or if it's totally scrapped, that it should be free market ideas in whatever whatever repeal it would be. And so when I say that, they get relieved, like, oh, well, great, and it was just funny to me because people were just like, oh, well, he's a conservative, and they would, and so I use these stories, and I know like I said, I'm pretty sure if someone listening, it's probably more of the liberal type, they're probably like, oh, well, that's racial profile, or that's racism, or something like that. And to them, I would say that no, not really, because like I've said before, profiling in of itself is not wrong. It's what you do with profiling is what makes it wrong. Profiling, like everything else. I mean, if you talk about sex is not wrong in of itself. It's what you do with sex that makes it wrong, and how you practice it, whatever you do. That, and just like anything else, power, money, anything. People say about power corrupts, but it's how you use power that was what corrupts. So I, like I said, I don't. This is not being racial. It's just looking at stats. If you see a black man come into your office, and you know the stats, 90% of black Americans vote Democrat. So, and that number is a little bit lower if you factor in the people, black Americans who don't vote at all. So that brings it down a little bit. But if you see a black man into a congressman office, the odds of that person being of that percentage that didn't vote at all is pretty slim, because they're coming to the Capitol Hill. So it's pretty sure that this black American is one of the either 90% that vote Democrat, or the percent who has voted Republican or other. So if I told you 90% of anything would be like, all the odds that you would be correct. If of anything, I said that, okay, you have a 90% chance to win the lottery. Well, you would take those odds, isn't that right? If you see someone coming in your office, you see a black man coming in your office, there's a 90% chance that black man is a Democrat. 90%. But, in this case, I was part of the team. So that being said, I'm just saying that's about looking at the stats and just recognizing the facts. I mean, basically, look at profiling. Profiling is basically just a educated guess. That's basically what that is in and of itself. Now you can add other things that make it wrong. Now, if you use profiling in a hateful way, so if you use profiling, you profile someone by the color of their skin to hate, that's wrong, and it's just like everything else. It's just like education. Education in itself is not wrong, obviously. But if you use education to teach hate among the people, then that's wrong. So that's what I'm saying. As far that's what the awkward situation. I thought it was funny, but and I knew it was kind of would go that way, but I got a kick out of it. Maybe next time when I have more time to prepare, I maybe would do something that do some kind of funny. I don't know how they would feel about it if I did that. So that's pretty much it. That was pretty much my trip. Because I was in the committee for energy and commerce until 8:00, and after that I left and actually got a chance to talk with Congressman Steve King out of Iowa on the way out, which was kind of cool. And actually, I may have him on the show one day, maybe. We'll see, because I got the card and everything, and well, I guess we'll see if he'll do a couple of minutes on here, and I'll definitely put it on the show if I'm able to get that interview. So that's basically all I got. I'm gonna basically kind of end it here. I kind of went longer than I thought, so I wanted to say that a little bit and kind of give you a idea as far as what I was doing there and see, and kind of wanted y'all to. I will say this too, is that being there definitely says a lot to the staff and these congressmen. I mean, if anybody is politically involved, I'm pretty sure they've heard this from time to time. That making the calls, it is great. Don't get me wrong. Making the call is definitely one thing, because that was what was going on yesterday. Is that a lot of calls? I was sitting in the offices hearing that phone ring every couple of seconds, talking and someone calling about healthcare. That's a lot. I don't know whether they were against, but I was sitting in those offices for the most part. A lot of the time I was sitting in the offices because I was waiting to talk with someone else, but I was hearing that phone just ringing every couple of seconds ring, and I can hear whatever the receptionist was basically talking about healthcare, talking about health. So it was so, but I said, but they're calling in. Now you also had a lot of people actually coming in with appointments. I mean, I didn't have an appointment, but a lot of people were coming in with appointments. And I remember being in some of these Republican offices, and I was seeing people from groups that are definitely not conservative, not even, I would say, Republican, but they were coming in, get a meeting to put their principles out there. I think I remember seeing in one of these offices where you basically had, I was in a Republican office, and you had kind of basically immigrant rights, or I would say legal immigrant rights, coming in trying to make their case that for open borders. And so like I said, groups like that are coming in talking to these congressmen, and so and me being there also means something there too, because they're in the face, whether as in support or whatnot. And I would probably say what a lot of people have brought up before is about just being there, putting a face, whether even if you're disagreeing, they're seeing their constituent right face to face, and they know that that person is concerned about whatever it is, and that means something, at least. even if it's just a call or even if it's a letter, email, or whatnot. So I definitely, encourage people to, whatever you can do it. If you can, you can go on social media, you can go on, like I said, the email, calls, if you want to write a letter, so, but yeah, whatever you can do it. That's basically what I do. I had an opportunity to go, so I decided to go. And if the opportunity arises in other places, then I go out and try to do something. So, so that's all I got. And I appreciate everyone if you've been listening. And so probably this weekend will probably be another video recap. Hopefully I'll be able to do one. Actually, I will be in shit at the million. Well, it's a banquet for Million Mile Drivers. So I posted this a couple of days ago on Facebook that I am a truck driver, if you very well know that. And I've been driving since 2005, and I was informed that I have 1,000,000 miles of safe driving. So this weekend they're going to do a banquet to, I don't know, maybe they give me a plaque or something. I know they got some information for me a couple of days ago, and so I guess they're going to do a little bio and whatnot and say, hey, good job. Also we'll get something for 10 years safe driving as well on. And so that's other criteria. I'm not going to get into all the details. It's all truck stuff. But so I'll be there. So I might do my recap in Charlotte. So once again, also want to say, if you want to connect with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it's all the same name, TrendChat 24/7. See, I got that, snazzy broadcast voice in there to put it all together. Also, we are on YouTube. It's TrendChat, and so you should be able to look it up on YouTube. It's just the audio, but that's it. That's also on YouTube, and once again, we're on iTunes finally, and that's great. So if you got iPhone, iPad, whatnot, go on iTunes and I will say, like I post a lot, like it, share it, rate it, review it, love it, send it, whatever you have to do with it, anything, just connect with it. And just, let other people know. And we're just trying to grow with this, and basically tell them you're just going to hit a rambling truck driver. If that's how you want to describe it, that's fine with me. So, thank y'all all for listening, and until next time, I guess I'll chat with you later.